Greetings. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for tuning in. My name is James Geist, and I've been a teacher, history teacher of 20 plus years, and I've been writing since 2016. I love my coffee. This is from Uncle Bill's Pancake House in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I love my Dr. Squatch cologne. So please hit like and subscribe if you enjoy my stories. And the first one comes from the U.F.O. School Club, the New Jersey drone invasion. In New Jersey, we had a bunch of drones flying around November of 24. For about 6 to 8 weeks, no one really knew what was going on, caused some hysteria. Dr. Ellen Crystal says the single most important event in the history of the human race would be contact with extraterrestrials. That event would profoundly change our view of reality. Indeed it would. So this story, it says November 19th, walking in the school hallway. Attending Union Terrace in the first half of the 1970s, I'm dancing to the song One by Three Dog Night at my second grade Halloween celebration. I can make our teacher, Mrs. Sotak, laugh and laugh. It felt good as a 7-year-old to have some power over an adult who graded me in math and language skills and classroom behavior 4 times a year. One day in the hallway, I kept hearing this whisper of a sound zip, zip, zip as Mrs. Sotak escorted her second grade class down to the cafeteria. I could never figure out where the sound came from. 25 years later, as a teacher, I'm walking students to a hallway or to the cafeteria, and I hear the whisper sound of zip, zip, zip. I'm brought back to my days of elementary school and realize that the whisper sound is coming from between my thighs and my corduroy pants rubbing against each other. I will join Weight Watchers or become the next victim of spontaneous combustion. The next story that I'm reading from is called Water Wears Stones. And this book I wrote during COVID. I dedicated this book to my uncle Dale Geist and to the doctors, nurses, and essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. I also lost 2 friends during that time period, and I dedicated the book to Kevin Lyle Thomas and to Matthew Beckham. The title of this is called Diner Hipsters. The high school ladies, one with pink hair, the other with purple, were escorted to their table by the diner hostess. The girls sat down, looked at their menus, and then their cell phones, before and after placing their order with the waitress, and while they consumed their lunch. They looked at their phones while they waited for the check, and only stopped looking when they donned their jackets and left a tip on the table. As the diner hipsters exited the diner, one said to the other, "Good talk." And then the last story comes from $1,000 Campfire, Ken, Karens, and Bullies. And for 22 years I've had campfires up here in northern New Jersey. And last summer, 2 vehicles, whenever a red pickup drove by or a white Subaru, the police would show up or the fire marshal would show up. I always had a permit. I always called the police. I always checked the website to make sure that it was safe to burn. I was always legal, but sometimes Kens and Karens, when they see someone loving life, they just have to rain on your parade. This is Chapter 1. The 5-person panel of the Construction Appeals Division in Patterson Court are looking at me and waiting for my explanation, my defense, my presentation as to why I should not be charged $1,000 summons for having a chimney campfire on my property on March 5th. In New Jersey, you may be guilty of 7 false fire alarms and charged only $400. But if a fire marshal makes an allegation that you're burning brush, which is leaves or pine needles or wood under 3 inches long for a campfire, you can be given $1,000 summons. Most of my driving violations I've ever received were between $75 to $150. Something's not right about this. Why such a draconian fine when all you've ever had for 22 years were legal recreational campfires? Never, and I mean never, did I imagine having to report to a courthouse of Passaic County in Paterson, New Jersey on a Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock in June for enjoying a legal campfire. Having to defend myself before a construction panel of 5 human beings, being charged with an illegal campfire in a 27-inch chimenea. How does one get here? Just so you know, I won my case. So God bless you and all humans and ETs, and thank you for your time. All my books are on Amazon, and thank you for listening.